I'm not free till we're all free, rising in solidarity. I'm not free till we're all free, rising in solidarity.
Human rights affects everybody. We just don't see
realise it.
It is not just minorities who need human rights. Absolutely everybody does. You just do not realise how much has come out of the Universal Declaration and all of the international conventions and all of the various protocols that protect us in every sphere in our everyday life.
We're pleased to host this event in partnership with and funded by Welsh Government to mark 75 years since the UN Declaration of Human Rights. The theme is dignity, freedom, and justice for all.
So we're here together to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In unity, there is strength. And that to me means that if we work together to promote and respect human rights, better lived experience will be the reality for everyone.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is one of the cornerstones of the post-World War II international legal order. The world of the late 1940s was a place of great sorrow, but it was a time also of hope and renewal. Unlike their predecessors, the institutions founded in the wake of the Second World War have endured, and the values set out in those declarations resonate today and are as important today as they were when they were first initiated.
We are where we are thanks to the kind efforts of activists and the past, and we have made progress. And I'm confident, and I know that collectively we can continue to make progress together well into the future. Diolch yn fawr iawn.
Lifting up my mind. I'm not free till we're all free, rising in solidarity. I'm not free till we're all free, rising in solidarity.
Human rights are the principles of everyone being able to live successfully, with prosperity, with equality, with kind of purpose and without discrimination. There's no kind of one person who has more rights or more freedoms or more than anyone else. So if we're working on a rights-based principle, everybody has equal rights and are able to live their lives on equal footing.
Human rights are the basis for everything, really. I mean, I believe we have an opportunity to build a world where everyone can make the contribution they're capable of. And I believe that the logic of the society we need to build is that all of us are smarter than any of us. And for that sort of society to be possible, human rights are the baseline.
For me, that tutor was a beacon of light because I saw representation in him. I saw what I could potentially become.
Why are human rights important? I think they're important because they just give that foundation for everyone to partake equally in society.
You've used your skills and talents, haven't you? And you've used the fact that here you are safe and you have access to human rights to try and protect people and raise awareness.
Why are human rights important?
That's such a wide question, but I think the simplest answer would be we are all human. If I am human, I would care about other human being, and if people don't, I think that would be strange. I always found that it's really strange when people are ignorant and when people are just complaining about their taste of their coffee when others are getting killed in Gaza or Middle East or whatever.
Rights Network, that's our latest network campaigning on the different intersectionalities that are there.
The reason I think human rights is important is because it gives a universal framework for everyone to say, for every single person in the world. It's something that unites humans, that vision of how we should all have the same rights.
I saw it on Eventbrite and I just thought I wanted to come, so I sent it to my mum and then we came here.
All older people to say that human rights is for you, it's for me, and when we get older it doesn't mean that the human rights cease.
2003 Iraqi war. As such, I grew up in a world where it's filled with destruction, corruption and instability everywhere. I grew up through the ashes of war.
As Minister for Social Justice, I mean, it's really in the heart of everything I do, is strengthening and advancing human rights. And I've said today, this is just about, your rights on an everyday basis. And I've been talking to people today about their experiences of abuse of human rights, and that's on a global level. Young refugee who's come to Wales and feels now that Wales is his home, and also about the responsibilities that we have from a human rights ambassador in a community, showing that we have to look at every aspect of our policies and services in Wales and say, are we respecting people's human rights?
Human rights are built into the fabric of devolution in Wales. The European Convention on Human Rights features in the Government of Wales Act, which gives it a status and a role which is not replicated at the UK level. Wales was the first nation in 2011 with the Rights of Children and Young Persons Wales measure to indirectly incorporate the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child.
I think one of the things that I've been surprised and a bit uncomfortable with the last few years is how in the UK human rights seem to have been portrayed or sort of almost victimised as something that is imposed on us from afar and that is unfair. And I find myself quite often wanting to ask, well, which human right would we not want to live by? I mean, the right to life, the right to freedom, the right to peace, education, and all of these things are so fundamental to every aspect of our life growing up, and I believe that they should be sort of woven into everything that we do.
Well, I think that some of the language around the declaration might be seen as a bit dated or a bit stuffy, I suppose. And so I think we need to use everyday language that sits in front of the declaration, that doesn't take us away from the declaration and all the good work that's in there. So we don't want to dumb it down, but we want to make it more accessible, I suppose, for the general population.
What I wanted to do this afternoon, I'm really excited to be here. It's so lovely to be, frankly, in a political environment where you can get 3 ministers to come and speak about human rights for a start, but also to be somewhere where there is a sense of possibility and of hope. I think we're in a moment in time, and you might not agree with me, but this is my challenge to everyone in this space. I think we're in a moment in time where we need to renew the foundations of our societies before, otherwise we're going to end up doing it after.
I think human rights are for people. We're all human beings. It may be children, it may be refugees, it may be all races, everyone. So I guess everyone has a choice to what they want.